Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. Just wanted to do a follow-up video. A few years back, I did a video on this, which is my PT 1911 in 45 ACP. At the time that I did the first video, I had just added the Sarco ambidextrous slide stop lever. And being a left-handed shooter, it made a huge difference for me in using the gun, and I was really happy with it overall. So I thought it was about time to do a follow-up video to that. As you can see, I've added another 1911 to the collection, and I've actually made both of these guns fully ambidextrous. So I wanted to just kind of go over what I've done to them and just kind of give a review on the functionality and, you know, any problems, things like that I've noticed along the way. That one has been fully ambidextrous for probably 2 years now. This one has been fully ambi for probably a year and a half, something like that. So anyway, I guess we'll talk about the PT 1911 first, as that was the first one I converted. So as we talked in the first video, it does have the Sarco ambidextrous slide stop lever, and I'll show you that again. There it is. Now, in the first video, I had mentioned that I didn't notice a lot of wobble on this side, and as you can see here, this lever on the right-hand side basically just attaches to the left, and does so with an Allen screw here. I did notice that after taking it to the range a few times that this did loosen up. I called Sarco to see if that was an issue or if there was something I should be using like Loctite, because that didn't make sense to me by using some kind of thread glue type stuff, because you do have to take this off if you want to break the pistol down, of course. They recommended plumber's tape, which I don't know if you can see it there, but I did put some of that on the threads. It made a bit of a difference. It still, as you can see, it's got a little bit of wobble. It actually doesn't affect the functionality of it at all. As you can see here, let's see if I can, and by the way, these have all been safety checked off camera again. So you can see that's clear, of course, and that's clear with the magazine. So it works, really well there. So I mean, a little play, but it's not too bad, and like I said, works really well. So like that a lot. So that's been really nice. As you can see, it comes from the factory with a ambidextrous safety there anyway. And the only downside to this I've noticed, and actually I'll talk about it on the Ruger there because it's a little bit easier to tell, but there is some I've noticed a little bit of wear on the finish from where this side of the lever actually contacts the frame of the gun. Now, some of you guys might have already noticed, but I also have a ambidextrous magazine release on these guns as well, which is pretty cool. These are from Cylinder and Slide, and I bought these from Midway USA, I believe. And they weren't too bad. I think they were about $35 a piece, something like that. The slide stop was about, I don't know, 12 or 15 bucks, if I remember correctly. But these were maybe 35 or 40, and really cool. They actuate the kind of similar to how the slide stop works on the right side of the gun. These kind of actuate the left side magazine release by pulling down, actually, from the right side of the gun. So the way it actuates the magazine is, instead of pushing in, you push this lever down, which, as you can see, ejects the magazine. And I'll show you kind of how that looks on the other side too, because you can see the magazine release functioning on the left side of the gun as I pull down. See, you can see that, but the button kind of actuates there. I don't know if that's focusing. Let me try to focus that. There we go. You can see the button kind of actuating there as I pull down on the other side. So it works really good. It works really good. That actually, I'm much happier with the magazine release button than I am with the slide stop lever, believe it or not. And both are drop in, very, very easy. You know, this took me all of 10 minutes to do. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just literally pop the factory one out and pop this one in, screw it in, and you're done. So very easy upgrade to make if you're interested in, you know, making a Southpaw 1911. Some of the other additions I've done on these are nice. These 1911s from Taurus are pretty nice. They've got a lot of bells and whistles. You know, full length guide rod. They got the serrations on, you know, both ends of the barrel here. They got these Heine sights, which I don't love, but they are night sights. That's the two dot sight there. They're okay. Not a huge fan, but they're decent enough. And as we already talked about, you know, the extended beaver tail and kind of a weirdly skeletonized hammer, I guess you'd say. But it does have the ambidextrous safety right there from the factory. But a couple of things I did add to it, as you can see, I did put a Hogue grip on it, which I really like. It makes the gun a lot easier to grip. Feels really comfortable. You can shoot it forever at the range. Doesn't slip or slide like that. Really good. And then actually, one of the other things I added too is this just kind of flared magazine port kind of extension thing. It's just plastic. I ordered a metal one for it that didn't fit well for some reason. I don't think maybe with the grip on it for some reason, but and also it was hard to seat the magazines with the metal one. This plastic one, I know it looks cheap, and it is cheap, but it works really well. So that's why I've left it on there. And like I said, this is just kind of a range beater gun for me. So I don't carry it. It's too damn big for that. But it is just kind of a fun plinker at the range, and this works really well for that. Like I said, no style points, obviously, but definitely gets the job done. So that's the fully ambidextrous full size. I should have said this is the full size government model 1911. So this has the 5-inch barrel, I think it is. So you know, pretty big bulky gun. This one, the Ruger. Let me get that out of the way. The Ruger I bought, like I said, maybe about a year and a half ago after I finished the Taurus, and wanted something that I could potentially carry in a 1911 platform, and so I bought this one. It's a Ruger SR 1911 in the commander size, and I didn't want to go too small. I know they have those officer models that are even, I think they're even smaller than this. But the commander size I thought would be a perfect length. I think it's a 4-inch barrel on it. But really happy with it. It's actually got I like the trigger on the Taurus better, believe it or not. But this has been really good too. No complaints on it. This one, on the other hand, unlike the Taurus that came with some nice stuff from the factory, this was more or less bare bones as it came out of the box. It had just a single-sided safety here. It had regular 3-dot Novak style sights. It did have the skeletonized trigger here and an extended beaver tail, but that was pretty much it. It does not have an extended guide rod, which I'm actually okay with. It makes breaking the gun down a little bit easier. It also had wood grips on it that I've since changed out, but as far as the ambidextrous features, and that's a Chip McCormick 10-round magazine for it as well. But as far as the things that I added to the Taurus over there, the full size one, done all the same things to this, in addition to adding a ambidextrous safety. Actually, ambidextrous safety and I should say Trijicon night sights as well. So those are different sights on there. But yeah, it's got the same setup, you know, fully ambidextrous slide stop from Sarco. Also has the cylinder and slide ambidextrous magazine release as well. And it's a sweet gun. I also added these are actually Hogue rubber grips as well. I didn't want to add the big wraparound grip like I did on this one, just because it makes the gun a little bit bulkier, a little bit wider, and the idea for this one was going to be carrying it, you know, at least a little bit, which I've done. And these grips make it more comfortable, but also keeps the profile much more reasonable. And I'll say this: this one I've shot more than the Taurus actually, and I noticed that this one, this side of the slide stop lever does loosen up. That screw will back its way out. I have not put plumber's tape on there yet, which is my fault, but I haven't done that yet, and I noticed that screw. I basically have to tighten it up after, you know, every trip to the range, and I've had it almost come off once or twice, so not too happy with that. The other thing I noticed too, and it's kind of hard to, but again, it does work pretty well. The other thing I noticed too, and you can kind of see it there, the slide stop lever here has been kind of wearing at the finish. I don't know if that's hard enough if that's easy to see or not. But it's been kind of wearing it. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Sorry, I'm looking through the camera. Yeah, you can. It's hard to see with the shadow, but it's right there at the end. It has been wearing at the finish, you know, so that's it is what it is, I guess. But as far as a carry gun goes, you know, it is what it is. I'd rather take the functionality over having a little bit of additional wear. You know, it's not like this thing's going to be a collector piece necessarily. But yeah, so far, like I said, guys, really happy with this. Fully functional. You know, very, I think, inexpensive considering, you know, what all I've been able to do to this, and how I've been able to, you know, really make these very left-handed friendly 1911s for pretty short money. And I know in my last video I talked about some of the true left-handed, you know, from the factory 1911s, like the Randalls and I think the Cabin Arms. The cool thing about these, if you do it this way, other than the fact that the price tag is far more reasonable than what one of those other, you know, 180-degree flipped left-handed 1911s will cost you. The cool thing about these is they take standard magazines. So because you're just, you know, adding these on to you know, a normal 1911, you can use the standard 1911 mags. With those other two types of guns that are full left-handed flip from the factory, you can't use normal 1911 magazines with them because the mag catch and everything is flipped, even the magazines. So you need specific magazines for those guns. So it just doesn't make any sense to own one of those. So these have been really good. I know I'm into both of them for well under $1,000 each, and they're both lots of fun. Like them both. So anyway, guys, that's about it. Questions, comments, leave them for me. But hope you enjoyed these, and yeah, talk to y'all soon. Later.